Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, very warm welcome. Today we are going to be talking about decluttering and how it's changing my life already. And I want to give you some tips and tricks because this was not an easy journey, but it has been so worthwhile. So I hope you're ready to cleanse your life, declutter, and become light. And before we start, just a warm introduction to myself. My name is Ankita Jain and I'm a leadership coach. And on this channel, we are all about joy and bringing about joy to our life. If it's in small ways, if it's in big ways, while we're improving to make our lives better. So that's what we are doing today. And let's just dive into the topic for today. Now, if you've been keeping up with some videos of my channel, you would know that I recently moved places. And that required a huge, transferring of goods from one place to another, which kind of forced me into decluttering, even though I was inclined to do it, but I kind of wasn't doing it right. And I learned a few things which I want to share with you. I realized that decluttering is so much more than just moving things around. And let me start by saying that I'm not really a minimalist person. I like having things, but I realized that I had too many things and I was not really using a lot of those things as well. So let's get started. The first thing that was most important for me to understand as I was decluttering was it's really important for me to understand that this is a process that I will not get done if I just put in one day to get it all done. So I started and segmented a lot of different areas into the things that I really wanted to declutter. Honestly, I wanted to declutter before I moved places, but I was not able to because it was a little bit rushed. And things got dumped into boxes and people were helping me. So it all kind of came here. It would have been nice to come lighter, but I didn't. And in retrospectively, I would have liked to do this better. But I also realized I had stuff from years and years that was connected together. So it's going to take time. Remember this. And if you're not somebody who's doing it often, it's going to take a little bit longer. So be patient with yourself. That's the biggest thing that I have learned here, right? So it's a process. And the most important thing for you to realize is, why are you actually doing it? And that will give you motivation to keep doing it when it's taking longer than it's supposed to be. It's going to be important for you to realize why you're doing it, because the energy that it brings into the picture is going to have to align to something. Now, for me, the reason I actually wanted to declutter was it could have been so easy for me to just buy more wardrobes and just stash stuff around, right? And I think I still have that habit and I want to become better. But the reason I'm doing it is I realize that the dream version that I'm working towards, the most joyous Ankita that I want to become, isn't, worried about. She has clean shelves, she has organized stuff, she has her life organized, she has a place for everything in house. And that's not how I grew up, so it's not really how I do things. And recognizing it's a process and it's a change has helped me. The other thing that really helped me was realizing that I had, I ended up buying duplicates of everything because I didn't really know where the thing was, and and then I actually needed the thing, I ended up buying it instead. So I had 2 of the chargers that I needed, 2 of the markers that I needed, 2 of the journals that I needed, but then I needed it because I didn't have a space, I couldn't really use it. And energetically that depletes you. The redundancy, the extra stuff, it's taking everything that you own becomes a part of your energy, right? And if all of your energy is becoming segregated into things, into areas which are not getting the right attention, which are not what it needs to be for you, for your dream life, what you're working towards, then why do you have it? It was such a big thing, which leads me to the next thing. When you're decluttering, it's really important that your mindset needs to change as well. You need to realize that you need to value everything that you have. I think the whole thing about minimalism is having and owning things that bring you joy. For a lot of people, that might be just the bare minimum things that they need and you recycle it out. I like things, so I have a lot of different options. I'm also a seasonal person. I like something today, then I might not like it tomorrow, then I would like something day after again, or like I might like an extension of it. And I like to go all in, so that means I intend to collect things. And none of that is wrong. If it is what it is what it is. But your mindset here needs to be, if you have the thing, you at least need to be able to locate it. You at least need to be able to have a place for it, so you know where it is, so it's in your awareness. Because I also have ADHD, and it's very hard for me to, if things are not within my top of mind awareness, it's like they're dead to me, and then you can't find anything. On the other hand, if I really need something and whatever, I can find it within a chaos. Like I can dip my hand into a bundle of chaos and I will know exactly what I need, which was to the shock of my family often. So you need to challenge your mindset. There'll be so many things that were important for you that you own, you have emotional attachments to. Like I had things from my high school which I brought from India to Dublin, which weren't really the most pleasant times. I don't know why I was holding on to them. So I had to sit with them, I had to reflect them, I had to deal with the emotions that came up, and then I had to throw them out. And if I chose to retain something, I realized that it was creating bondage in my life. And so it was a mindset shift as well, that I need to release my emotions. I need to challenge myself that this is not where I'm going to be. If I have clothes that don't fit me anymore and I just have them in my almirah, aspiring for them, and I still haven't reached it over the last couple of years, then, well, it's time for them to go. Somebody else can use them and I can buy something else as a challenge, because that's clearly not working. And it's just creating, anxiety within myself. It's creating things that I don't need in my life. So you gotta get rid of it. You have to get rid of it. And that's going to take grit and determination. That's going to take you challenging your mindset. And that's going to take you working with yourself, sitting with yourself, and dealing with all the emotions that come up. So it's a mindset shift that's required for decluttering, not just the physical action of throwing things out, because things will come up. The third thing you need to realize is it's going to become so big as a project as you're doing and cleaning, because for you to be able to clean a drawer, you have to first take out the drawer, take out all the stuff. So that's going to get messy somewhere else first. And then you'll be like, oh, I have everything out, but I have to do something else. But it will get messy. It's okay, as long as you keep at it. That's why it's a process, right? That's why you're working on the mindset that you actually want to make it better. So when you pull out all your wardrobe stuff and it's now everywhere in your house and you're suddenly overwhelmed, I'm like, what did I do? What am I doing? You'll be like very tempted to put it all just back in. I've done it a few times, I'm not going to deny, but you need to figure it out. It will get messy, right? You figure out your process, you figure out your way of doing it, and you deal with the mess. You let things go, you keep what is needed. But if it's things that need to be filed, if it's things that need to be, organized better, if it's things that you need to make space for, sometimes you need to order things in, sometimes you need to do other things as well. So as long as you're creating a plan in your mind, as long as you're being patient with yourself, as long as you're doing stuff which is in accordance with where you want to be, recognize it will get messy and don't let it get you overwhelmed. The ultimate goal for you in decluttering is that you're making space, not just for your things, but also for other things in your life. So one of the things you'll notice is as you start decluttering your house, your things, there'll be so many things that open up in your life, because all that energy that was clinging to those things that were not really adding to your value, adding to your life any value, will just go away. So it creates space for new things to come. You'll also see that you're romanticizing things that are not really happening, and you're not creating space for what needs to come in your life. One of the principles that I learned in energy was that universe hates a vacuum. So if you create a space, it will give you something that can be filled in it. And then it depends on you what you fill it with, right? So if you're creating space, if you're creating options, and if you're somebody like me who likes to buy new things, then I have to make sure that I'm creating space for new things to come in, and rather than just buying stuff and dumping it somewhere and not finding it till like a crisis moment where I have to turn the whole house down to actually find that one thing, and I've added on like a 15-day job of cleaning up after it. No, you need to do better. You can do better. There's so much out there that you can do. And like some of these organizing systems, some of these things that you can buy to make your life easier, and they're not even that expensive. Like start with something simple and then keep adding on to it, right? And which brings me to my last point, the most important point that I recognize is that it's not a one-time process. You're going to maybe end up with clutter more often after you've completed your initial stuff, you've dealt with your emotions, you've found the place for everything. You're still going to continue living, right? You still have new things that you buy. As long as you're able to create space for it, and sometimes you'll have to throw things out, donate things, sell things before you can buy new things, or as you're buying things, you need to keep doing it in progress. Find your process, recognize what works for you. Is there a place? I have a bin which is to be sorted one day, and it's really full. It needs to be better. It needs to be better. But I'm getting there now that I have space to put things in, now that I'm allowing myself to throw the things that don't add value anymore, now that I'm creating a better system for myself, and that system keeps changing. Trust me, I'm not somebody who can do the same thing over and over, so I'm changing a lot and often, and I do it often. So recognize that you're going to change your life by doing this. So your mindset is changing, your emotions are changing, the way that you're showing up in life is changing. It just creates so much more space. I would really encourage you to give it a try. I would really encourage you to keep trying because it will take a time, and be patient with yourself. Allow yourself, time yourself. What I do now is I know I'm going to get too tired if I do too much. So I break it into small things. Literally half of my room is still not set up, but I'm not worried because I know how I'll set it up. To the point that some days I do something every day. Some days, like my work desk was not set up because it was upside down. It was just it was facing the other side than I wanted it to be. Literally yesterday I had no time to do anything else. All I did was I wiped the stuff off it, and I literally make a stack of stuff somewhere. So that needs to be dealt with, but that's task 2. I made the desk turn around, face the right way. I adjusted the space. Now what I do every time I enter into the room, I take 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I have timers on, right? Sometimes I have 10 minutes after I've eaten my lunch and before my lunch hour is open and I'm working from home. I'll just go to my room and take care of one section. It doesn't have to be too much because I'm also somebody who's like, oh, my hands got dirty, I have to wash it again, I need this and that. So what I do is I kind of do batch jobs. If I have to wash my hands and I can do something while my hands are getting dirty, I'll just take care of it quickly. Find your way, find your rhythm, figure it out. And just I really would encourage you to not give up and keep trying, and then find your system that works, and then review those systems. You might need to come back again to see how that's working for you versus not, right? So keep doing it, keep at it. And with that, those are my tips for you for decluttering and things that I kind of was hoping somebody had told me before, so I thought it would be powerful to share with you. It's a journey, you'll get there, but you can do it. Like if I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it, okay? And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Show me in the comments below, right below, what are you working on? What are you trying to declutter? What are the challenges you're facing? Maybe I can help you with some of it. Sometimes it just helps to share it out, just talking about the emotions that are holding you or the changes that need to be done. How can you change? If you think somebody can benefit from this video, do share it as well, and hit that notification and bell icon, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Lots of love. Bye.